Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this one I'm using some of Dina's second to last release. This is a colour combination that is one of my favourites, and for me it's a bit of an unlikely combination, but oh my, I love it so much. So this is cheddar, starting off with cheddar, and then a little bit of tangelo, but tangerine would work just as well. Mixing those two, kind of letting them blend a little bit. Then I'm going to give that a dry before I then go in with iris. I know, hang with it, honestly. You're probably thinking, what the heck? These are really pretty when they get together. Give that a dry. Then I'm going in with a bit of lemon through a stencil. So this is the triangle fence stencil. I'm then going back in with some of the tangelo or tangerine colour, a little bit of blackberry, using the same stencil but pulling the stenciling the other way. So I'm building up the background using most of the same colours. Raspberry. This is where it starts to pop. I'm just putting this on with a blending tool, and I'm just kind of adding some areas of raspberry to my page using the blending tool. Look at those colours, aren't they beautiful? It's like a sunset, I guess. So then this is the old school mask from Dina's second to last release, and I'm using sapphire, turquoise and white. So I'm starting off with sapphire down one side, grabbing a bit of turquoise, letting that blend, going back in a bit closer to the mask. Letting those colours mix, and then a tiny touch of white right on the edge. Lift it up. Look at that. Look how that pops against the oranges. And then I'm going to flip my stencil over and just stencil down the right hand side on this other one. And do the same thing with the colours. So I'm gradually bringing the lighter colours in until I put some white right down that inside edge. And then again in the middle. So using the same figure for this, and just kind of flipping it round. So then I'm keeping the stenciling quite close, the paint rather, quite close to the edge. Whereas normally when I do masking, I often pull the paint on the edges out to sort of to meet each other. But with this, I wanted there to be three distinct figures, particularly with this one in the middle. I wanted that to be the main figure with these two behind it. And again, I'm doing the same thing with the colours. I'm just letting those colours kind of blend and do what they want to do. And here, just pulling that nice bright colour down the edge with the white. Look at those colours. Right, when I lift this mask off, it really pops. Okay, so then I'm just looking at my image and thinking, okay, where doesn't it make sense? Where do I need to just pull that masking out a bit more? And some turquoise splatters. So starting to think about building up those layers a little bit as well. And this is one of those occasions where I would say I've gone in with no collage paper and I am just building my layers using stencils and paint. This is Stabilo All Pencil. I'm just going around these figures, just outlining them, not doing it particularly carefully, just going around the edge. And then I'm going to activate this with a water brush and just soften those lines. So I'm kind of wanting to draw the eye into where these figures are. But on some of them where there's parts of the figure missing, I'm not drawing a line in there. I'm just going to leave those bits. It's enough that there's the idea of a figure there. Sorry if you can hear Lola barking in the background. This using the Stabilo All pencil and water activating it just creates that beautiful soft line, and as it dries it does fade a little bit. So once it was dry, I'm then going in with a white Stabilo All pencil and just journaling some thoughts onto my page. I'm going on to where the nice blue is, and this is just creating another layer of interest on my page, but I'm also journaling some thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. I don't know what I was just thinking there, like where shall I write, and I think I decided down here, because then it kind of makes sense of that leg that's sort of hanging in midair. It's almost helping to ground that. A little bit of text stamping. I'm pulling that over my journaling. That just helps to push that away a little bit, so it creates more layers. I've also added some dotty stamping as well onto my page, again using black. Then I have a little collection of hearts that I cut out of another journal page, and so I put them to one side and I've just been slowly using them up, cutting them into smallish hearts to pop onto these figures. That's something that I like to do, is to give my figures a heart shape. So each one is going to get one of these pink hearts, which I will glue in place, and then later on I'll outline as well. So because I've got quite a lot of blue on my page, I then thought, I just want to kind of lift it a little bit. So I've grabbed lemon and I'm just smudging some on with my finger, just bringing a bit of a warmer glow to some areas on the page. Yeah, and just kind of rubbing it in with your finger, you can get a lovely soft glow. This is Sapphire. Now what I'm doing here is pulling some more stenciling over the edges of that masking that I did, and then that just helps those to feel like even more of the journal page, just by pulling that stenciling over the top. Then I'm outlining those hearts like I mentioned before. And I wasn't sure what to write on this page, so I've grabbed Dina's art card. I'm just selecting a card from them, and it's come... I didn't like that one. Obviously, I didn't like that one. That's quite funny. The word listen. I'm going to say that I chose the wrong card first time. That is quite funny, isn't it? So I then searched up for a quote about listening and decided on this one. The word listen has the same letters as the word silent, I think is what I wrote. I'm using a Life of Colour dot pen, and then this is a Jane Davenport white marker. It's really nice. It works really well, except for where it's just straight onto the craft. It does disappear into there a little bit. But that's just because there was no gesso on my page to start off with. I'm adding like a bit of a drop shadow, or I call it a highlight if you want, using this white pen. And that, I think, is about where my page finished. Of course, what am I thinking? White splatters. You've got to add splatters, haven't you? It really does just finish it off, doesn't it? So, an unusual colour combination, but one that I think you should try. If you haven't, you'll be amazed at how much it really pops. Just that combination of colours is so lovely. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.